Good morning. Welcome to the Soul Walk. Let me put on my gloves. Ooh, it's windy, windy, windy. I hope you can hear this without too much wind in your ear. But I love the wind. I really do. I love the wind. And I love the sound from the ocean. I love the water. Welcome to the Soul Walk this morning. We're going to stay on the path of self-love because we're so good at not loving ourselves, and we're so good at punishing ourselves for all kinds of reasons, and mainly for reasons that are so cockamamie. Because someone else had said that we're supposed to look a certain way, because someone else has said that this is what your life should be like or supposed to be like, because someone said this is what you should have in your life and this is how you should live your life. And when you're not, you're punishing yourself for not having it or not being able to live the way someone else has told you to live. So we need to teach ourselves self-love. I'm trying to teach myself self-love every day through other soul walkers and their experiences and their tools. And I am also every day trying to give myself love in various ways. I usually start every morning asking myself nowadays, what do I need to practice today in order to love myself more? Because I have the basic. I realized that, 11 or 12 years ago now, when I walked the Camino. I got the tools. I understood why I was worthy to be loved. And so I have the understanding deep inside of me and in the knowing that I do deserve. But sometimes I fall out from the practice of love to myself, and that hurt my soul. And that can sort of make me fall off from the road a little bit. It's so easy to start punishing myself. I'm very good at that. I'm extremely good at that. So when I realized a month and a half ago that I need to do this practice every day because it's so easy for me to fall out of love for myself. And if you believe in something, you start treating yourself that way. So if you believe that you're not worthy of feeling good, if you believe that you're not worthy of love, if you believe that you're nothing, well, then you're going to treat yourself that way, which means that you're going to bring in everything that will tell you that truth, which means that it becomes, this wheel, you see, it will just spin around and spin around, and it will lead to the same self-hate, which leads you to teach you self-hate and treat you with self-hate, which leads to even more self-hate, and so on and so on. So that's why we need to help ourselves to put the foundation of the day and find tools, little tools that can sort of make you snap out of it. And I have a toolbox now that I'm sort of picking from whenever I realize that I'm, treating myself from self-hate. And so I can get back up on the horse of self-love. And and you need to find your own ways, but how to find your own ways is also by, listening to other people's way. And my way, the way I help myself, is to read soul cards. I've actually started making my own now, from my tools, from my self-love, from what comes to me. But I mix it up with other people's soul cards just to help me, you know. It's not that hard, really. You just write down the things that helps you, and then yeah, I've I've started painting now, so I draw something or I paint something, and then I write my soul words into them, and I mix them up together with someone else's soul cards. So that can sometimes help me set the tone for the day. I ask my inner self, what do I need to work on today, in order to help me love myself and stay in love, especially stay in love for myself. And loving myself is not walking around being like, ooh, I'm the best. I can never do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. It's not that at all. Um, it's just knowing that you're worthy, you're enough, you're allowed to forgive yourself for your shortcomings. Um, you allow yourself to look into why you can't live up to certain things, why you repeat. Because boy, do we repeat certain things in our lives, negative things. And we need to look into that. Why do I repeat this behavior? Why do I repeat this, feeling of myself? Why do I repeat this? And when we do that, we will always get an answer. And then it can take some time before we can put it into practice to change it. But, as soon as you're aware of the why, it's easier to change. So I start out by a soul card to give me a direction for the day. But some days, like last Thursday, I woke up just feeling angry, and I had anxiety for my future, anxiety for work, anxiety for my relationship, anxiety for a lot of things. And I picked a soul card. It didn't really help me at the time. I was just so angry, and I didn't feel I was open. I didn't feel that I had, I wasn't open. But then when it's like that, we can treat ourselves with love. And one way how I treat myself with love and compassion, when I feel that I don't have the strength or I don't have the capacity at the moment, I treat myself with a bath, a hot bath with lots of foam and oils and candles, and I can just lie there and listen to something, That is one way of treating myself with compassion and love. Or making a really nice brekkie, something almost like, when you were a kid and you were sick, staying home and being sick, and you felt that your parents took care of you, Those are some gems that that I love to remember. I have some of those. And so then I become that little, that parent to that little Camilla. And I can make myself a cup of hot chocolate and a nice sandwich or something. So I treat myself with that. But basically, what I'm doing most of all right now, I start listening to other people's soul walk. I go to where I find inspiration, and so I can snap out of it. And at the moment, my best friend is Liz Gilbert and her soul talks. And so, and Martha Beck, I think that's her name, she's a new soul friend that is holding my hand every day. And I listen to them and I get a little teeny tiny bit of the stardust to help me just snap out of it. And usually that always works. That always works. But if it doesn't, that's okay. That's okay. So it's a shitty fucking day. And, well, that's just the way it is. Maybe it will change during the day, but you can still tell yourself, all right, I'm not feeling good today. I don't know why. Maybe I'm going to have my period, which was what happened here. I actually wrote that down in my love book. I don't know why I feel this way. I just feel angry, sad, very sensitive. Maybe I'm going to have my period. I haven't had it for 2 months now because I'm in menopause. And then usually I have it for 2 months when I do get it. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. And that was the truth. The truth was I was going to have my period, and this is how I feel usually before I get my period. So there we are. And you try, and if it still doesn't work, well, just give in to it then. That's okay. That's okay. Unless you hurt someone else. That's not okay. But sometimes it's hard not to. You project your feelings on other people. But then you need to forgive yourself. And forgiving yourself, you look at the why. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? And sometimes you need to ask for forgiveness. And but know that you're already forgiven, actually. So self-love. Other ways of treating you with self-love and building self-love is to listen to your body. What does your body need to feel self-love and not self-hatred? In my case, I need to get up and walk, which I'm doing now. But I haven't been consistent. I haven't been out walking every morning like I wanted to. And when I fail doing that, I just need to forgive myself and try to do better the next day. And today, I'm out walking. I know that I need to change certain behaviors. I told you the other day that I stopped the diet thing. I started doing the Weight Watchers, and it's just, I can't stand it. I can't stand the control. I grew up with food control, and I guess that's where my trauma comes from when it comes to food and everything. So doing control in another way, it's not good for me. Not good for me at all. So I guess I'm gonna have to pay for this fucking Weight Watcher a whole year now, because it's not easy to leave these kind of diet forms and when you pay, at least, But that would be my lesson that I'm teaching myself. And but there are still things that I need to change. I need to change to eat from sadness, anxiety, um, all these negative feelings, because that's something I do a lot of times. When I feel anxiety, when I feel sad or angry, or particularly when I feel self-hate, I stuff myself silly with food usually, and sometimes candy and chocolate and licorice, but basically it's just food. And because that's where I have the most trauma around is food. And I need to forgive myself, and then I need to try to see if there are things that I can change to help myself. But this is easy when you're just you. When you're two people with a food addiction and treating yourself, with self-hate when it comes to food, then that is harder, especially if the other person is not on board. And I feel that's where we are a little bit. Both me and Ian, we have food addiction, and we do a lot of talking, but not a lot of walking. And I'm trying. I have not found the answer or the right tool yet, but I'm still trying to find a way to change the behavior around food at home. And I'm just talking about just the negative part. It's all right to eat whatever you want. It's all right to eat a lot. It's all right to be overweight. It's all right. The other day I just had this feeling that, oh, fuck it. This is the way I look. This is the way I am right now. Oh, who fucking cares? But that's if I treat myself good. That's if I eat and fill my body with things when I'm content and when do you know what I mean? I'm trying to say that as long as it comes from self-love and not self-hate, fine. But when it comes from self-hate, well, then it's a reaction, then it's a outcome of something that you need to change. And in my life, I know that it comes from self-hate, the way I eat and treat food. So I need to change that behavior. And it has nothing to do whether I'm aiming for being skinny or not. It has nothing to do with your body, the way you look. Has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the soul. And that's what I'm trying to change. I want to teach my body with self-love. And another way of treating myself with self-love is yoga. God, I really found that a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. I started doing yoga with these beautiful and lovely 80, 70, and 80-year-old women. And a friend of mine, she's the yoga instructor. And I have tried doing yoga off and on for so many years. And it's like my spirit knows that is something that is good for me. But it just never, I never felt it. But when I started doing her yoga, it just hit home. And when I started doing yoga, everything changed. My pain started to go away, my physical pain in my body. But Then summer came, and I was in the middle of my self-hate and my spiral down, and I was so depressed, and I stopped doing yoga, and my physical pain came back, and then I start hating myself for not doing the practice when I know it's good for me. And yeah, so I'm forgiving myself, and I can understand why it turned out the way it turned out. But I know I need to go back to that yoga because that's what my body needs, and it helps me. It helps me in so many ways. And what else? What else do I do to show myself love? I do the things that I like. And at the moment, it's painting. I experimenting a lot. I'm experimenting a lot with art right now. And I'm loving it. For me, it's meditation. I can't think when I'm creative, when I'm doing something creative. And a friend of mine, Pernilla, she's an artist. She's a wonderful artist. I love her paintings and all her artwork. And one time I was with her in the studio, in her studio, and yeah, I don't remember what we were doing, but we were doing something. And she started laughing, and she's like, I think this is the first time you've ever been this quiet before. And I started laughing. I said, yeah, that's true. When I'm being creative, when I'm doing artwork, or if I'm do some embroidery or whatever I'm doing creatively, it's like I go within myself. I can't think, I don't talk. It's a meditative state for me, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And the same way with writing. I write a lot right now. Maybe not on the things that I need to write on. I need to write on a lot of things. Well, not need, I actually want to, but it's like, well, that's right now is self-love that I'm writing a lot, and that's what I need at the moment. So, but anyway, so do something that you like, that gives you satisfaction, that gives you joy. And now I hear a little voice in me, but what if you don't have that? Well, I mean, one thing for sure to figure that out is to be curious. Curious, what is tickling you? What would you like to learn? What would you like to try? And, investigate those thoughts. Be curious. Be curious on life. Be curious on things that you are curious to try, and just do. Just do, without the thought of being perfect. Holy moly, you should see me painting sometimes. I feel like my 5-year-old me. I'm just like blabbing on colors. I'm having fun doing what do you call it? Yeah, playing with textures and collage and yeah, all kinds of stuff. I'm like a 5-year-old right now. I'm just having fun, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction, basically. So these are the things that can help you treat yourself with self-love. Do things that you like, or be curious to find out what you would like. Treat your body with love. Ask it, what do you need? What do you need to change? What are you doing to yourself that comes from self-hate? And change that. what do you need to do to show it self-love? Um, your relationships. Be open and honest with yourself. What are you doing to yourself in a relationship? Does it show you self-love or self-hate? Change it. You could just start with maybe changing a stuck behavior in your relationship. I'm trying to find an example. But if you taught yourself, or you've been taught to take shit all the time, maybe for once you shouldn't take shit, and you say no. Put up boundaries, set boundaries. What's okay with you, what's not okay. What else did I say? Find soul teachers. That is the absolute best and the first tool, really, to find yourself soul teachers. Because if you're open, and YouTube is the best spot to find soul teachers. Whatever you need to teach yourself, if it's self-love, if it's forgiveness, if it's whatever it is, you just type that in and you hit enter, and there will be plenty soul teachers to choose from. Start there and follow their tools. Try them out until you find something that you know, because when you know, it's going to hit right into your heart when you found your tool. So your soul walk is yours. You can find inspirations from others, but the walk is yours and the changes are yours. So you need to find different ways that works for you. And that's what I've been doing, and that's how I do it. And one of them is doing soul walks with you. It's to help me to give myself love in the morning and start out the day from self-love. So with that, the morning traffic is picking up now. I'm going to say goodbye, and I want to wish you all an absolutely beautiful, 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 wonderful day. And I know I will. So kisses and hugs to whoever is out there holding my hand through this walk. Lovely love. Bye-bye. Oh, my hand is completely numb.